Hello YouTube, IDIO here again, and today we're bringing you a new game. It's called ZX, which is Zillions of Enemy X. It's a game from Japan, and it's not here in English yet. It probably won't be, but it's another good find. I discovered it a few months ago, but it's recently become kind of popular thanks to Chan on Difference in Skills, also a YouTube channel. I'll give you a link in the bottom. What I've done here is I've proxied out some of the free-to-play decks that the company who's responsible for this game has actually put up on their official website for free print-and-play purposes. And by doing that, I've obviously printed them and I've proxied them over just regular old poker card deck. And, well, here we go. I've got two decks, as you'll see here. I've got more. I just ran out of sleeves, so I'm just going to show off these ones for now. Alright, now in this game, as we go along, I'll explain a little bit more about the types of cards and stuff. In this game, there are 5 different elements, or 5 different colors, which is red for, obviously, a fire type thing, blue for water, we have green, which is in that other deck, which is more of a nature type thing. Then you have yellow, which is light, and purple, which is darkness. But anyway, we're going to get to it. In your deck, which must be comprised of 50 cards, you must have 20 cards with that little gray symbol there. Sorry for the shakiness, but you see that little gray symbol there? You have to have exactly 20 cards with that symbol in your deck. And what those are ignition cards. And during gameplay, again, check out Chan's video for gameplay info. They become like free summons if you can hit them during your ignition step. And for this deck, I've proxied out I've got 2 of these, 2 of those guys there. 4 of these red ones here, but these are a special type of ignition trigger. Let's see if it'll sharpen up. Apparently it won't. Anyway, this is called a life restore, essentially a heal if you're a fan of Cardfight Vanguard. If this is in your life zone and when your opponent takes it and puts it into your charge, if you have equal to or less life, you get to take a card from the top of your deck and add it to your heal zone. You're only allowed 4 of them in a deck, and of course they are these ignition triggers. Next we have another type. It's called again, ignition trigger, but they're void bringers. And they have a continuous ability, same as the heal trigger, that if they're flipped from your damage, they can destroy any XZ, which are the units of the game, in any zone, including your player square. And as you will be able to notice here, I'll probably showcase them a little bit, these are the Japanese proxies, but through some Photoshop magic, I have managed to put English text onto them as well. And I've got the PDFs uploaded and stuff, so if you're interested in the game, I can drop a link in the description. We've got 2 of these guys, 4500s. We've got 4 of her. Okay, we got another 4 of that one over there. Now, these cards over here are called event cards. In ZX, there are 3 types of cards. We have ZX, which you can, again, blurriness. What the heck's wrong with my camera tonight? Anyway, in the upper left-hand corner, you can see it says ZX. Where over here, it says event. And events can be played sort of like Magic the Gathering's instance. They can be played anytime during your turn or during your opponent's battle phase. Now we've got that, and this is another event card over here. It's a nice little bounce card. And we've got this 5-costing giant red creature, again a ZX. Another ZX, got 2 of her. Appears to be 4 of this one. And I believe this one right here. At the beginning of a game of ZX, once you select your player, which is that card right there, it doesn't have any effect on game, it's just a marker basically. You can start the game and search through your deck for a card with this ability. It says start card, and then you play that over your player card. And again, check Chan's video for, gameplay and how that's relevant. Got 4 of those guys. 4 of those guys. 4 more of those little birds there, and then this little erupting dinosaur guy. Alright, and that's the first deck. If you pardon me, I'll just go on the other side of my table because I have everything all set up nice and neat over here. We've got the ignitions for here. This is a green foxy critter, which is the heal ignition trigger type thing. We've got another ignition over here. This is a darkness ignition trigger. Another player card. Alright, let's see if I can angle that. Ignition trigger and ignition trigger. Then over here, we got the spells for the deck. Another set of spells. Now we're getting into some regular ZXs over here. This is a 65K vanilla for 4. An 8K beater for 6. Just more of the good old stuff there. And let's see, I believe, yeah. This is a start card as well for this green-black deck. We've got 4 of that one. 4 of this 7K. And this is a set 3 proxy deck. And you'll notice it has these cards here have a little green symbol here. These are EVO. EVO seeds, I believe was what they're called. And these things, during the ignition step, if they're revealed from the top of your deck, they'll be sent to the trash, but they grant you other effects, and they do not count towards your ignition triggers. So you still have to have 20 ignition triggers, but you can also throw in these EVO triggers to give your ignition step even more pop. You know, because you want to hit these for free summoning purposes. With these EVO seed, when they're sent to the trash from the ignition, they grant you all kinds of nasty abilities. Like this one over here that you have 4 of in the deck. When she's revealed during ignition, she lets you take a cost card of 3 or less from your trash and add it to your hand. So she replenishes your hand, which is definitely good. And yeah, really good. And this one over here is a big nasty. He's an 8K. And if when he's revealed you have 6 black mana, you can tap the black and destroy stuff. So it's really kind of badass. Now we're going to, yeah, we might as well sit down right here, I suppose. And now I'll showcase off some of the proxy work that I did. This is obviously the Japanese art and stuff, as you guys can see. And you can see the Japanese text there, but I actually photoshopped in these English translations, thanks courtesy to the ZX Wiki. Again, I'll drop a link in the description. But yep, each and every one of these cards I've gone over painstakingly and added the text. It's actually on the card, it's not a slip-on. Again, I told you through Photoshop magic I was able to do that. So I've got every single one of these cards has an English translation, so it's playable right off the bat. You'll also notice I don't have an official playmat or anything, so I drew up my own with my own home squares, which is where your characters kind of start. When you summon characters, you can summon ZXs, you can summon them to any of the open squares regardless of where you're positioning. And the object of the game is to deal 4 damage to your opponent's ZX, which would be over here. By doing so, you attacking it and removing their damage stack. Anyhow, that's pretty much all I have time for. This is IDIO on ZX. And thank you, YouTube. Hope you enjoy. I'll drop more links in the description for more in-depth info. Alright, I'm out.